give that a try. Good morning.
Good morning.
We got the beta show comments on stage. So as soon as the comments are going to come in,
Awesome.
we're going to keep it says keep the party going that way.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is a party. I'm Jeff Exline. This is Emma Keegan.
Hello, everyone.
Emma's our new meteorologist from New Jersey, but also recently more so from Florida.
Mhm.
And you were saying it was cold this morning.
Yeah, it was a little chilly this morning. I
Little
stepped
chilly.
outside. I caught that cool breeze on my neck, and I.
So you're not
raced
used to
home.
anything like sub 60.
Not really. No, we normally don't get into those temperatures about until early mornings of January and February in Florida. So
Yeah.
when I'm experiencing it this early in fall, it reminds me of being back in New Jersey when I was a kid. When it finally came around time to start, getting back into pumpkin spice, maybe a little bit of some cinnamon apples, maybe.
You pumpkin spice or cinnamon apple?
I'm more so cinnamon apple
Oh,
for
okay.
sure. I do enjoy both, but I do love a good cinnamon apple kind of. I love apple cider as well.
And
Big
you do
fan.
like the what do you call them? The not caramel apples, the candy apples.
apples.
I remember that. I remember you're a
love
big candy apple fan. That's coming up here soon.
Yes.
Now, were you in Florida? Was that the part of Florida where the iguanas fall when it gets real cold?
Those are more towards the southern portion of
Okay.
Florida. So
You don't have iguanas where you live?
no iguanas just yet. I hope to never see one. They're a little scary.
Because every time there's a cold snap in Florida in the winter, they always, the iguanas start like they freeze or something, and then
Yep.
like they just fall out of the.
Yep, you'll just see them falling out of the trees. Those are mainly towards like the Keys, Miami,
Yeah.
that area. But
They don't actually freeze. I think what they do is they like almost go into like a hibernation state.
yeah, it's more like a not self paralysis, but
Mhm.
almost like you're right, like a self hibernation state where they kind of just freeze and they're conserving their energy, and so they just
Yeah,
fall.
and then they
drop.
fall out of the trees. That's always fun. Oh, look, see, now did that pop up? Let's see. We got an Austin. Oh, there we go. Austin says, good morning, Jeff and Emma. Can't believe how dry this August has been. Plus, I watched you having a field day on the bounce house side. Oh, boy. Yeah, I fell.
The internet loved that. Oh,
Yes.
the internet loved that.
Oh,
video.
here, look, they're popping up on the side. That's kind of small there on the side. I see it now.
My heart
There we
stopped when
go.
you fell on TV. Aw. Luckily, I don't think you took too hard of a fall, did you?
No, it was like a slip. It wasn't a fall
Mhm.
because it was literally, I was climbing up, and then they were like narrow little stairs, and then I had the socks on and had my shoes, and I just slipped.
Lost your footing.
But if I would have fell all the way, I would have fell the entire. I mean, I was pretty high up there. I would have went.
That would have. Oh goodness.
I would have went viral then.
Yeah, that would have been. That would have been a pretty viral moment.
So yeah, a lot of people talking about Austin was talking about how dry it's been. You were talking about that yesterday too. How dry this August has been, and Larry's saying loving this weather. So yeah, as long as you don't mind the lack of rain again, great weather this week too, nice and cool.
Yeah.
Look at the cumulus clouds are starting to pop.
Yeah, just floating in, looking like flocks of sheep almost going through.
Flocks of sheep.
Flocks of sheep.
I thought you were
yes.
Flocks of Seagulls, which was a great 1980s band. They had the crazy hair going.
Mhm.
So you can definitely see Steubenville North with that camera's positioned north, and you're looking closer to Lake Erie's north of us, and that's where we're seeing some of those clouds pop and move in. And further south though, in Wheeling, yeah, you can see them off in the distance. See the clouds off on the horizon right there. Let me get out the big yellow arrow. There it is.
Yeah.
The big yellow arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry says, beautiful weather, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is looking really nice outside. Those temperatures have come down really significantly into those lower middle 60s for you for most of the region. Some of them popping up into those higher 60s, like Sistersville popping up at 68.
And a few of us this morning had upper 40s this morning, upper 40s, low 50s. So if you had the windows open, you got a little chilly last night, I would think, in the house. So there's those current temperatures. I sort of like this. So you get the comments on the side. And so you could put the big comment here, but then that's going to cover a face. So you get the little comments on the side. That's kind of neat. Oh, let's see. Gotta come over here and hit the National Dog Day today. What's the name of your dog?
My dog's name is Lucy. She was named after the actress Lucille Ball.
Oh, okay. Everyone loves Lucy. Up in not too far away from here is, I think, Lucille Ball's birthplace up in New York.
Oh, fun.
I happen to be up in that area. It's like sort of towards Erie, and then you make a right into New York. Head west. I want to say Jamestown.
Jamestown? Okay.
Don't quote me on that. Let's see. Austin says, "What's have been going on with Nate at 8? I was surprised it's Thursday and last night haven't been airing. Is it technical?" Uh yeah, we have been seeing some. We had like a Facebook issue. I don't know what's going on with the Facebook. It was
something with the login
yeah.
information.
You know what? The other thing, Austin, I bet you football.
Mm.
We have the football games on. I think they stream that on the Facebook page.
Mm.
So that's probably why Nate can't do Nate at 8 Thursdays and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. I guess he could do it with his phone and just do. I'm not sure how that would work. But so yeah, national. My dog is Galway. She's a mini Aussie Doodle. So great day for dog. And I guess where National Dog Day stems from, it's a day where, you know, to promote. If you're thinking about adopting a dog, good place to be. Maybe go to an animal shelter, a rescue. So I think that's where National Dog bring attention and bring awareness to that. So
that's wonderful.
If you're thinking maybe you know, this might be the day to do it.
Yeah.
National, then you could, you know, always say you adopted your dog on National Dog Day. So there's, look at this time, average highest time of year is 81 and not even close to 80 this week.
Yeah, really down in those deficits, about 5 to 10 degrees below the average normal. Just a really nice taste of fall we're getting into this week.
Yeah, and when you know it's going to be a little warmer next week. So last week of August, cool. First week of September, maybe a little warmer in the 80s. Low temperatures, upper 40s, couple mornings, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. So, and below our average low 60, which is almost unheard of because it's been so humid this summer. Our low temperature has been running well above average. Not much rain.
Maybe a couple sprinkles on Thursday evening and afternoon, but overall just nice and clear going into this week. A little bit of a further extension into our dry spell, considering it's been a little bit droughty here lately.
Droughty,
I guess
is that a technical droughty? Yeah, so there's our measly, well, this is one model's output. I mean, you know, you look at another model, could vary, but none of them are showing anything too extreme there on Thursday. But a lot of zeros on the board. It may be a passing shower there Thursday afternoon and evening. Something we'll have to watch out for. Yesterday there were a few showers that popped up even in our northern counties, especially Tuscarawas, Carroll, Columbiana. Those counties saw a few showers. So those lake effect showers are roaming around up there. A lot of them are going to stay to our north, but I could see how there might be a stray passing light shower this afternoon, evening, 3 to 8 p.m. time frame.
Yeah, absolutely. That lake's really heated up, and with those cold temperatures coming in so suddenly, the wind just really picks up all of that moisture and turns it directly into just nice sprinkly showers for our areas just southeast of that.
Yeah, if this was winter time, we'd be talking about lake effect snow showers, but of course this is still August. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but if you look at you could actually see it. I'll expand the view out a little bit. It's the same setup we get in the wintertime. You can see how the trajectory of west-northwest flow coming off of Lake Huron, see how it's depositing some of those showers and those bands, they're coming through. So yeah, it's a possibility we could get a shower passing through, but not a lot of rain this afternoon at all. I think they're going to be kind of sparse, few and far between. But even some in Lake Erie, even some water spouts have been going on of late here with this type of setup with that cold air coming in. So here's a look at Futurecast. There you can see the spotty shower, very, very isolated.
Mainly into those later afternoon to evening hours is when we'll see that potential pickup. But as we get into the next morning, it should be looking fairly dry and definitely less cloudier than the afternoons have been.
Yeah, ridge of high pressure builds in, sort of leads to sinking air, high pressure at the surface. You want low pressure at the surface so air can rise to give you clouds and precipitation. And we have that high pressure system now. There's a sort of a reinforcing shot of cooler air. You can see that that's indicated by the cold front up there way to our north, and watch as it drops southward on Thursday. That probably gives us our best chance of some showers. Even that, it's like north of I-70 for the most part, and it still looks scattered.
Yeah, very far few in between those showers, and it'll continue to just make its way through, bring in a little reinforcement to those cold temperatures. We take another dip going into Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's not really pulling in Gulf of Mexico moisture. So for that reason, it's just going to squeeze out some showers. Looks a little heavier to our northeast up there towards where I was saying Lucille Ball, right? It's right about here, by the way, I think. I think that's Jamestown, New York. That's where there's like a big statue and you can see the museum of Lucille Ball.
Oh, wow.
So you can take your dog there.
I'm sure she'd love it.
So there's your forecast. Again, very quiet. Right into the weekend. Another weekend now. Memorial Day. It was a cool weekend, kind of an odd summer because it started very chilly on Memorial Day. It was a dry 3-day holiday. 4th of July, I believe, was a Friday, and it was a 3-day holiday.
Yeah.
And that was dry. Now it looks like Labor Day to have 3 of the summer holidays weekends be completely dry. That never happens around here. 3 for 3, but it looks like it's going to happen this year. So kind of wild. And notice it does get a little warmer. And after that cold front comes through Thursday into Friday, it drops off with a high of 71, low of 48 Saturday morning. Then it starts to creep up towards 80 Labor Day. And next week, it looks like we're in the 80s for a little bit. Why don't we show everyone what we were looking at? We were playing around on the weather computers, and we may find this interesting. This is we're just looking at our tropical storms within 50 miles of Wheeling. We may have to stop this to sort of see it. I could sort of play it out. So let's see. Probably crashed the computer by trying to do this. So these are actually, so anywhere the green line, that's a tropical storm. So that was Audrey.
That was back in 1957, I believe.
Yeah, we were trying to remember these. That one pitter-pattered out. Let's see. Hugo went by real quick.
Yep.
It's so hard because we need to make this a little better so you can see the names. But one of them, the blue ones really don't count. They were tropical depressions, but
that was Friedrich.
And then that's Hugo.
Yeah.
Hugo one goes by Tuscarawas. They fly by too quick.
Yeah. And then that one off to the right is Isabel, which was back in 2003.
Yeah, which I don't remember that one. And of course, the one a lot of people remember is Ivan back in 2004. But the center of that actually passed well to our south. But we just got a lot of heavy rain because of frontogenesis, which was basically a cold front coming in and squeezing out the tropical moisture, which was lifting northward. So the actual low-level circulation, or what was left of it, the low-pressure system, was further than 50 miles away from Wheeling. So we just happened to put in Wheeling as one location, and it's kind of interesting. So really, maybe I guess the last closest one was, what did we say?
Isabel
in 2003.
Yep.
I remember Hugo in 89 because that thing raced across like Charleston, South Carolina, and the Myrtle Beach area, and that thing was chugging along. And it was still very windy here as it came through. I remember the wind and the rain as Hugo came through. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
At least we thought it was interesting. We were playing around back here.
Interesting that there's only 4. Very far few in between, and it hasn't happened in quite a while.
Yeah, to have a true tropical storm. Again, we've had, and then this is only within 50 miles. But yeah, if we were to expand that a little bit, we'd have more. But yeah, a lot of times it can be more than 100 miles away, the actual low pressure, like we saw in Ivan in 2004, and still it led to a lot of flooding. And that was also because we had Francis, which I think was one of these that came up, maybe the one of the blue lines. Francis came up a week before, deposited a bunch of rain, and then literally a week later, 1 week later, the same day, it was Ivan. And Francis like saturated the soil, and then Ivan put everything over top.
That makes sense.
So we had all kind of issues.
It made a bad situation worse.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Francis, everyone remembers Ivan, and they sort of forget Francis. But if it wasn't for Francis, we probably wouldn't have had the flooding like we did back then. Okay. I think that's gonna wrap it up. We got to get ready. We got to do some tag team weather.
Yeah.
You're gonna be talking about yesterday. You talked about the dry summer, and for those of you that missed that, we'll throw up this little stat how this summer is dry, because I know Austin was talking about that, but not quite as dry as last summer, and it got off to a wet start this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely got a muggier later parts of June, and pretty much the entirety of July was very wet, and you can see that rain amount was about double of what it was last year. So while we did experience a fairly dry August, probably the driest August that we'll see on record, in terms of the entire summer, it wasn't as dry in general. That drought was a lot deeper and a lot more concentrated during last year.
And to follow that up, that last summer's little amount of rain there, under just a shy of 5 inches, last fall was one of the driest falls on record. So it was the combination of a dry summer and a very dry fall. It was a long, prolonged event. Right now, we started summer wet. We're going in the wrong direction. We're dry, and we'll see if that persists in the fall, which it can. It's tough to get. It's tough, especially early in fall. It's tough to get a lot of rain. Later in fall, we tend to get more rain. The one thing that can skew that, of course, is something we just touched on, was the tropical system. So if remnants of a tropical system, that can erase rainfall deficits.
Speaking of tropical systems, we are heading close to the peak of hurricane season. The dreaded month of September is creeping up on us very slowly but surely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably don't think of, you think of like maybe the summer months with hurricanes, but really fall is really September, October, really you're really when things get heated out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can even last in November in some years too. But today we'll have the forecast coming up on midday, and we're in the 70s now. We talked about going in the 80s next week, and Emma's going to show you if our days with highs in the 80s are numbered.
Yeah, exactly. It's because some of us, while we're excited for this new pumpkin spice weather, jumping back into fall, a couple of us are kind of wanting to stick back into summer.
Maybe you still have your pool open.
Yeah, we're wondering if you want to keep that pool open, especially with Labor Day coming up. If you're thinking about hopping back in the pool, maybe yes, maybe no. I'll have all of that for you.
Yeah. So a little climatological perspective on when we typically see our last 80-degree weather here in the Ohio Valley. So, and even a look at when we see 80s over the weekend. So you could check that out on News 9 midday in a little less than a half hour, which means it's time for us to say bye-bye to everyone out there in Facebook and YouTube land. And how we do that is we hit the end stream button.
Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll hopefully see you at News 9 at midday.